Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, me testing out Toyota's new crawl control system. And I figured the best way to test out Toyota's new crawl control system is by comparing it to the previous system. Pretty straightforward, so with that being said, let's get right into the video. So the car that we'll be using to test out the old system is this 200 series Land Cruiser. This is a 2020, and then this is a 2024 Land Cruiser that has the new system. Sorry, this control stack's a little bit dirty. My wife uses this as her daily driver, and well, you know how things are with kids. Anyways, this is the crawl control system, so you turn that button, and then this is how you manage the speed. So it's pretty straightforward with the previous system. And then the new one's just as easy. You've got a button to turn on the crawl control, and then you've got a dial to change the speed with that crawl control. The first climb up this hill, I'm going to be doing myself. So I am in rock mode, four-wheel drive low, center diff locked. And the reason why I'm going to, excuse me, the reason why I'm going to do this myself, and we're going to do ECT second, is to show the difference between you driving the car yourself and then crawl control. Now, this is a 30-degree plus incline, and it's loose rock with mud underneath. So you can see the systems are acting here. Still very smooth, right? Very, very smooth. Able to get up. And again, that's the hill that, for the other video, the Ineos Grenadier could not get up. So you can see this system, right, works a little bit, but it's pretty smooth overall. So now we're going to do this again, this time crawl control. So I just press the crawl control button, I set the speed, why is it not moving anymore? It should, what in the world? Crawl has been deactivated. Let's try that again. Okay, I'm obviously doing something wrong. Well, it's working for downhill in reverse. Why is it not working for uphill? Okay, maybe if I take it out of ECT second. Okay, there we go. I think it might have been the ECT second I didn't like. But you can see that it's going up. Again, working. Even less intervention, oops, we're gonna slow this down a little bit. Even less intervention than when I did it. So it makes all the noises and everything, but it gets up very, very smoothly. So the old system is actually really good. It's just a little bit noisy, but it's honestly not that bad. Now, as I'm looking at this hill on video, it really doesn't look all that difficult because the camera always flattens everything out. Again, 30 degrees. This is one of the tires from the Grenadier yesterday when I was trying to get up. I wasn't able to crest it. So again, you can see it's dried out now because this is on the surface, but underneath it is wet, and then you have this gravel that's really loose, and so it's really difficult to get grip on this kind of stuff. Again, the Land Cruiser makes it look easy, but if you don't have an advanced four-wheel drive system, again, even with lockers, this is hard to get up. Now we're going to do more tests with the 250 because we have a rear locking differential that the 200 series does not have. And I want to see if that changes things. So just like the 200 series, for this first test, I'm driving, center diff is locked, and I am in rock mode. So the traction control system is currently working. I can see the light flashing, but it's silent. And on top of being silent, notice there's no kind of skipping. Again, in the 200 series, it wasn't bad, but it kind of bit in a little bit, whereas this, it's just completely smooth all the way up. Now we're going to use Toyota's crawl control system. Again, just center diff locked. Increase the speed there a little bit. Still in rock mode with the multi-terrain select. I can go a little bit quicker. Very, very smooth. Again, it's silent with the traction control system working. And what I'm seeing here, oh, there's a little slip, but it corrected very, very quickly. That was quite impressive. So I did kind of slip into the ground there a little bit, but pretty much silent with the correction and very, very quick to respond. A lot quicker than what we saw in the 200 series. Now I am driving again, and I've got the rear differential locked this time. So we'll see if this leads to any less slipping, less intervention from the traction control system. Again, we know we can get up this without the diff lock. Interesting. So yeah, the traction control light was flashing when it didn't have the diff locked. With the diff locked, we're getting pretty much no intervention. So you can get up either way, but with the diff locked, it makes it so that it's, I wouldn't say any smoother, just less computer intervention. Now, diff locked, crawl control on. Probably do a similar speed to what I was doing. There we go. Interesting. This is so cool for me to... Again, very, very smooth. Less intervention from the system. There's no slipping at all with that diff locked. Huh. I think it's time that we get to a conclusion here. After doing all these tests, I have come to several conclusions. So first off, let's talk about the crawl control conclusions. The first of which is that the old system is really, really good. Toyota absolutely nailed it with that old system. Again, it is a little bit noisy, but for me, as long as the system is getting the job done, I don't care how loud it is. That being said, the new system is objectively better. The new system is smoother. Again, having a rear locking differential definitely helps out this new Land Cruiser, and I think that's why so many people will add air lockers to the 200 series when they do overland builds, because open diffs, right? They're always going to be worse than having a locking diff. So yes, the new system's smoother. So I think for 99% of situations, the old system is going to do just fine for people. But at the extremes, the new system is going to perform better because of being a little bit smoother. Like imagine both Land Cruisers are buried up to the frames in mud. You're probably gonna have to get towed out either way. But the new system with the rear locking differential, I think has a better chance of getting you out of that crazy situation versus the old system. I think, again, it'll do really good, but it probably won't get as unstuck, if that makes sense. So yeah, the new system's objectively better. And I think that the benefits of the new system are going to be a lot more apparent on the new Tacoma and the new 4Runner because of the more traditional four-wheel drive system that both of those vehicles have. They just have a regular 2-speed transfer case versus this having the Torsen four-wheel drive system. And then the Torsen definitely makes a difference. So I think the new crawl control system is going to benefit those vehicles a little bit more. I need to do more testing with them to verify that. The other conclusion that I've come to is, and I know this is going to annoy people, but I've owned a lot of off-roaders. I've owned the new Defender. I've had two Broncos, one of which was the Bronco Raptor. I've had a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. I've had the Ram TRX. I mean, like pretty much everything that goes off-road I've owned, or I've done tests with it off-road because I've had it as a press car. And the Land Cruiser is just the best. Now, they don't have the most ground clearance. That is the biggest downside with these Land Cruisers, is the ground clearance is lacking, but in my experience, you just have to drive a little bit slower off-road because they actually have decent enough angles. They're able to get over pretty much everything. You just can't go as fast, right? Like a Raptor, like a Bronco Raptor is a great example. So much ground clearance that it doesn't matter how fast you go, you're not going to hit into anything, and it's just unstoppable in that way. But the Land Cruiser, right, you go a little bit slower, but it's still just, I don't know, it makes it up. And I'm just amazed at how these Land Cruisers make everything look so easy, because again, I do these mental comparisons where I go, okay, that's how the Defender went up a similar obstacle, that's how the Bronco and all that kind of stuff, and everything else just like it can get up, but they have to have bigger tires, or they have to like work a lot more, whereas this is just, it's boring. And I think that actually might detract from the new Land Cruiser, and just from Land Cruisers in general, is some people might not want these because of how good they are off-road. Like, it makes off-roading so easy that it's boring, and I think that some people might then go and get something more simplistic, like an older Wrangler, or like the new Ineos Grenadier, because it'll actually provide a greater challenge, because the vehicle is going to have to work more, and you're going to have to work more. So, I don't know. Just an interesting thing that I've noticed. Let me know your thoughts on the new crawl control system, and let me know if you think if the new crawl control system is worth it.